He was just on one. I know he's always on one, but this was a rare explosion. Trump goes on lengthy tirade on Carlson, Owens, and Kelly. Donald Trump might have posted one of his longest Truth Social rants to date about not liberals, not fake news, but about conservatives who once were on his side. They once backed him. We'll give you the highlights because the show is not long enough to give you everything he said. I mean, you can refer to the transcript that's on Truth Social if you must. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years. They have? Especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Because they have one thing in common: low IQ. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. Everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes. They never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. He's on one. I'm not even sure that's original. My ex says the same thing about me. But I don't know. Maybe they care. Maybe Megyn Kelly and Tucker and Candace care. I don't know. But there's more. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. All caps. Not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson that couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. This is ironic. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous "only Rosie O'Donnell" question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man. I don't think she wants that brought up. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things, lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their call because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. So he says he does not care. Tucker, Marjorie, Candace, Megyn, Alex, he doesn't care anything about you, but he just wrote a dissertation. That's a dissertation. I don't know how many words dissertation has to be, but I can assure you this probably qualifies. When Candace Owens was asked about Trump, here's what she said.
Would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
I think it is. He reminds me of the same guy who came down the elevator saying that people were murdering and, I don't know, certain people, brown people. It's the same guy. He's just got a bigger microphone. She then responded to Trump's Truth Social post, tweeting, "It may be time to put grandpa up in a home." Look how short that was compared to his. That's a clapback. Marjorie Taylor Greene said in a tweet, "President Trump has gone mad as he wages war against Iran. Broken campaign promise. I fought alongside Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones to help get Trump elected. And now he goes off on a rambling rant attacking all of us in one post. We never changed. Trump did. America first. Alex Jones responding to, what's he whining about? Let's listen.
Well, President Trump came out on Truth Social and attacked myself and all the original MAGA supporters today. And I'm just so sad that whatever's happened to him has totally changed the man he once was, because he did so much good. I supported the old Trump that got so many good things done. But at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touch his heart and soul and free him from the demonic influences that he's under. I mean, it's just that simple. This is a nightmare. We know the Democrats, the left, are absolutely terrible. But when Trump's calling for wiping out whole civilizations and acting like a supervillain, I have to come out and say I don't support it.
Okay, so there's a couple of things we can glean from that. When Alex Jones says that you're under some kind of demonic forces, this is a perilous time. Get the powdered food ready. Make sure your bunker is available, and maybe go on in there now, early. Okay. Another thing I can tell now that I've heard from Alex Jones, Alex, Megyn, Tucker, Candace were all on a Zoom call. They did a morning meeting call. I don't know if that was their first call, but they're on the same call. They're coordinating. And that's a good thing for the rest of us, actually, whether you like them or not. So Tucker Carlson's response told Status, perhaps tongue in cheek, that he, quote, loves the president more than ever, despite his deranged outbursts. I feel sorry for him. Israelis have him in a hammerlock, he added. Don't you remember the good times, though, when they were all cheering in those silly red hats and, I don't know, saying that women were second-class citizens and holding Bibles upside down and okay with grabbing them those were the good old days. Trump praising some of his former allies.
I just mentioned a name, but a woman who I saw the other night on television just ripped some poor idiot apart. Megyn Kelly is here, and she's doing. Come up, brother. Come up here, Megyn. By the way, I'm having a great time up here. Are you having a good time? This guy. Is he the greatest interviewer? Candace Owens, I watched her and I saw her coming. I said, you know, I'm pretty good at star power. I say, that's a star.
I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed.
Donald Trump, let me say this. My audience, I'd say 90% supports you. Okay.
Right.
And you definitely have shown your knowledge of geopolitical systems.
Like one of these kids is, Alex Jones is just still a weasel. The others aren't great, but I would, if one of them has to get off the island, he goes first. Okay, in this little dangerous clique. But there you have it. Boy, we say this a lot, and I almost don't want to say it, but I can't resist. We're nearing the end, folks. We are nearing the end. Yes, I don't know if you agree with me, but this time it does feel different. Yeah. He is a grandpa who's lost it, which normally would make me feel, you know, when someone reaches a certain age, and perhaps they're not as sharp, and they tell the same stories over and over again, guess what? I give them the courtesy of listening. I laugh at the joke, even 50 times in a row. I'm going to laugh.
Repeat your stories grandpa. As many times as they need to hear
that part. Yeah. But this feels different. They're coordinated. You notice how Alex Jones said he was Trump, you know, paraphrasing, clapping at not just me, but really all of MAGA. He put that in there. Yeah. He's deranged, time to put him to bed, blah, blah. Is this time different?
This time feels different. And, you know, just to be clear, when we say things like that, it doesn't mean that like tomorrow something's going to happen. It means like probably within this year, something is going to happen. Whatever that looks like, I think the overall feeling that a lot of Americans are feeling right now, though, is that like, where can we possibly go from here? It has to collapse. There's no more There's no more craziness that can be crammed into this moment. We've never seen anything like this, not from Trump, not from anyone in his administration. The things that he is tweeting or posting on Truth Social are completely unhinged, but they also reek of like desperation and anger and manic behavior, even, and I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but that is how it feels, right? And what is so terrifying about this is that obviously he has the nuclear codes. He is the one who is still in charge. He is still the one who commands our military. He is still the one that all of Congress is taking their marching orders from. And I say all of Congress because, yes, the Republicans will not do anything against Trump. They're floating the 25th Amendment now somewhere in Congress, but it's really unlikely that that is going to happen. And yeah, the Democrats, they're hardly speaking out at this point, right? Some of them are doing something, some of them are saying things, but they really aren't doing anything tangible or actionable, nothing that will actually help the American people get through this moment. No one is looking ahead towards the future. What happens once this man goes away, however he goes away, right? I'm not saying I want it to happen one way or another or when, but whenever he goes away, which looks like it could be soon, however that happens again, whether he's removed from office, whether he flees the country, whatever, what is going to happen to this country after the fact, right? We know that of course, the vice president typically takes over, but everything that we're dealing with now is so unprecedented. Everyone is so interconnected in this administration in some kind of fraud or just illegal activity. Everyone is enabling what is already an illegal war in Iran. And the things that would remove someone like Trump from office are the same things that his vice president and other members of his cabinet are already complicit in. They're still giving all of our money. Excuse me, they're still giving all of our money over to Israel. We don't know what the outcome of this Iranian war is going to look like. We can guess what the end goal is, what they're trying to achieve. We know that Benjamin Netanyahu was the one who wanted Trump to invade Iran. We suspect that it is because Iran wants control of all the oil through the Strait of Hormuz. All these things we understand. But what we don't know is what is that going to look like for us here at home, here in the United States, right? Are prices ever going to go down? Ever? We already heard from the Delta CEO who would not commit to lowering airline fees once the gas prices go down. They can just keep claiming inflation. This is the new normal. If people are able to pay it now, they can pay it later whenever things are getting better. And they're already looking forward to making so much more money than they had before in their previous years. So that is what we're dealing with here. People still can't find work. People are still getting laid off from jobs. Entire government agencies are being shut down. We just heard that the US Forest Service is going to be shut down. All those people, even including like the researchers who work at agencies like this, people are suffering here. We can't find work. Trump said he's going to take even more of our money, give it to the military. He's going to cut from things like education and healthcare and childcare, all of these systems that the American people are supposed to be able to depend on. And they're taking it. So who is going to come in? What is going to come in after all of this is done, after the dust settles, and look out for the American people? How is that going to happen? And who is talking about that? I haven't seen anybody really talking about that.
Well, JD Vance is talking to Usha about it.
Not him.
He's definitely talking about it. I can assure you, as he's plotting and he's already measured the drapes and this and that.
I know. Don't even get me started on Usha. Yeah, it's the worst.
I think they were going to send him to Cuba, actually, once Trump conquered that, and he was going to become president there. This is what I heard. Okay. But it's so terrible because here's the thing. Damn it, we saw this coming. Don't act like it's not the pandemic, which he exasperated, but it came out of the blue, let's say. We told you this was going to happen. And as Candace Owens continues to call her Kamala, she told you to. And I'm not making any judgment about, it would have been better. But we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have been in a war with Iran where they're shaking people down through that strait or blowing them up. We wouldn't be in that place. We wouldn't have sky high inflation, the markets dipping in and out, insider trading to the max. I mean, this is a fraudulent situation. And we're now looking to eclectic mix of devious Breakfast Club types. This crew, who's the leader? Megyn Kelly? I don't know. That we're depending on them to bring the rest of MAGA around and away from this guy. Good luck. As I said, get the powdered food. I'll give you the last word. Do you have a bunker? I don't even think you have basements down there in Texas.
No, we don't have basements in Texas, especially not in Houston, because it's just like swamp area here. So, which feels weird for me because I grew up with basements in the Northeast, But, I do want to say that we're hearing all this backlash now from people like Tucker Carlson and from Candace Owens and from Alex Jones and even from Megyn Kelly, all these people who have traditionally just supported him regardless of what he said and did, right? As much as the left right now wants to celebrate that the right is finally waking up, and as much as I would love to celebrate this moment with everyone, I just don't think that it's the victory that I want it to be. I'm not comfortable with this kind of victory. They're still insistent, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're still insistent that Trump used to be good. They're still insisting that he was once a good president. They still supported everything he did up to this very moment. And there was a lot of terrible things that they excused or decided that they were going to support. They're still celebrating who he was. They have no regrets about not just voting for him, but also for showing him to the American people. And there's no remorse and there's no understanding. It's not where I would like it to be for me to take comfort in the fact that the United States is moving past this Trump era. This era of demonizing immigrants, this era of, supporting ICE, and this era of just like letting everything go for the sake of capitalism, selling off our forests and our national parks for the sake of capital, in the name of freedom. These people still believe all of these things. Alex Jones is still talking about demonic forces. I'm still not comfortable with these people. And the fact that it took this long for them to finally be like, ugh, Trump is getting old, like that is very, very concerning. So
yeah.
Even like Joe Biden, when he was too old, right? And a lot of us said it, right? We weren't happy about it either. But even then, he wasn't like tweeting like casually to genocide an entire civilization ever. Like that never happened.
No, he fell off his bike.
In the middle of meetings
he fell off his bike. He tripped over sandbags. He fell down a lot. He napped in the middle of the day. He was accused of being, the star of Weekend at Bernie's, but he was none of this.
Yeah.
He was none of this.
Yeah.
And this is where we are.